Today we are going to learn how to crochet this little panda. Let's start with the head. First, the magic ring. Wrap the wire around your pinky. Put it on the index finger. Form a coil on the middle finger. Crochet through the loop and hook the thread through. Then wind the thread from above and bring it through the loop on the crochet hook. This is a CH chain stitch. We don't do CH as a pin. For the first round we will hook 6 SC single crochet. How to hook a SC? Crochet hook through the loop and hook the thread over. This time there are 2 loops on the crochet hook. Wrap the thread from the top directly over the loop on the crochet hook. This looks like a stitch. This is a SC. We are going to hook a total of 6. After we've hooked the 6 SCs, you can count the stitches. This is ACH. Do not do it as a pin. 6, then off the coil. Find the short one. Tighten it up. Pull until there's no hole in the center. Then we'll find where we left off with the first stitch. This is ACH. The first stitch is here. Through the crochet hook. Hook the thread over. And then bring it right through the loop on the crochet hook. Pull it tight and the first loop is hooked. Next stitch. Wrap the thread around the loop and hook ACH. We hook a CH with a SSSL straight ship stitch on each loop. All are not used as a needle purpose. In the second loop we hook 6 ink increase. Hook of ink. That's 2 SC in the same stitch. That's 6 in total. 12 stitches in this loop. Let's find the position of the first stitch. That's the ship stitch, the CH stitch. Pass the thread through the crochet hook. Hook it over. Winding tape over 2 coils. 1 SC. Still in the same stitch. Hook another SC. This way 2 stitches are grouped together. 6 sets of hooks. After 6 sets of hooks, we find the first stitch. Through the crochet ship stitch. And that's the second loop. Hook arch. Starting to crochet the third loop. The pattern for the third loop is 1 SC and 1 ink for group. Loop 6 groups. There are 18 stitches in this loop. Our first stitch in. Let's start with the SC. Then enter the second stitch here. Hook an ink. That is in every stitch. Hook 2 SC in the same stitch. This makes a group of 3 stitches. Hook the last group. We are with the first ship stitch. And then we hook ACH. And then the fourth loop. The pattern for the fourth lap is 1 SC, 1 ink, 1 SC in a group. Cycling through 6 groups. There are 24 stitches in this loop. We'll enter the needle at the first stitch. Hook a SC. Then enter the needle at the second stitch. Hook an ink. Then the third stitch into the needle. Hook a SC. This makes a group of 4 stitches. Hook the last and first ship stitch. And then hook ACH. Next, let's hook the 5th loop. The pattern for the 5th loop is 3 SC and 1 ink in a group. Cycle 6 groups. There are 30 stitches in this loop. We are going to enter the first stitch, a SC. The second stitch is also SC. The third stitch is also SC. Then hook an ink in the fourth stitch. That's 5 stitches in a row. Hook the last and first ship stitch. Next, hook ACH. Let's go to the 6th loop. The pattern for the 6th loop is 2 SC, 1 ink, 2 SC in a group. Cycle 6 groups. The number of stitches after this loop is 36. Let's start with 2 SC. Then we'll hook an ink here on the 3rd stitch. Then 2 more SC. This makes a group of 6 stitches. Hook the last group. We are with the first ship stitch. And then we hook ACH. Next, hook the 7th loop. Rounds 7 through 10 are hooked with 36 SC without adding or subtracting. That's 1 SC in each stitch. After each ship stitch, then hook ACH. Hook ACH from the 7th to the 10th loop. 4 loops. Finish him off. Hook the 10th loop here. And then the ship stitch is hooking ACH. Then crochet the 11th loop. For the 11th round, we will crochet 8 SC. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. After the 8 SCs are hooked, let's hook 7 ink. Three, 5, 6, 7 inches after the hook. We'll hook 6 more SCs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After hooking 6 SC, 7 more inks to go. 1, 3, 4, 7 after 7 ink, and then the remaining 8. They're all SC. After the hook and the first ship stitch, then hook ACH and crochet. Rounds 12 through 15 all crocheting 50 SC without adding or subtracting. We finished the last round with 50 stitches. There are 4 rounds from 12 to 15. All the same, 50 SC. Ship stitch after each hook, then hook ACH, and start hooking the next round. Hooking this last 15th loop, we ship stitch. Next, hook ACH. For the 16th loop, we'll start with 8SC. After the 8 SCs have been hooked, after hooking 7 deck decrease, the deck hook looks like this. The 2 stitches are merged into one. Pick the outer half of this stitch, then crochet, hook the thread over. Pull straight through these 2 outer half stitches, in the winding tip over the 2 loops on the crochet hook. This is a deck. I'm gonna hook a total of 7. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. After 7 decks, we hook 6 SC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we continue with 7 more deck hooks. Two, 3, 5, 6, 7. After hooking up the 7 decks, hook SC for the remaining 8 stitches. There are 36 stitches in this round. And then the ship stitch with the first stitch. Next, hook ACH. Then we'll hook the 17th loop. The pattern for the 17th loop is 2 SC and 1 deck in a group of 2 SC, cyclic group of 6. The number of stitches after this loop is 30. Let's start with 2 SC. Then we hook a deck. Then hook 2 more SC. So 5 stitches in a group. And then with the first ship stitch. Then hook ACH, then hook an 18th loop. For the 18th loop we hook 3 SC and 1 deck as a group, cyclic group of 6. There are 24 stitches in this loop. Start with 3 SC. Then hook a deck. This makes a group of 4 stitches. After the last group, we are going to stitch with the first one. And then hook ACH. Disconnect. And then we put some cotton in him. After we've stuffed him with cotton, next we'll hook the legs with black thread. First we magic ring. Hook ACH. Hook 6 SC first. After the 6 SCs are hooked, take off the coil. Tensioning. Find the position of the first stitch. Then hook ACH. Next, the second loop hooks 6 ink. The number of stitches in this round is 12. Three, 4, 5, 6, and then ship stitch with the first stitch. Next, we'll hook ACH, and then we hook a third loop. The pattern for the third loop is 1 SC and 1 ink. Cyclic group of 6. There are 18 stitches in this loop. Start by hooking ASC. Second, hook an ink. This is a group of 3 stitches. When you are done with the first ship stitch, and then hook ACH. Next, crochet the fourth loop. Crochet a round of SC. 18 short stitches in all. When you are done with the first ship stitch, and then hook ACH. Next, the fifth loop. Hook ASC and a deck as a group. Cyclic group of 6. 12 stitches after this loop. Let's start with the SC. Then we hook a deck. This way 2 stitches are grouped together. After the last group, and the first ship stitch, then hook ACH. Leave a long line. Then sew it together with, and then we'll take this thread and we'll tuck it in, and then a little bit of cotton. And with that, we are done with the legs. And then hook him up with the same one. And then we'll hook the arm. It's the same thing, magic ring. 6 SC from the first lap. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After hooking the 6 SC, taking off the coil and pulling it tight, and then the first ship stitch. Then hook ASC. Hook 6 ink in the second loop. The number of stitches in this loop is 12. Six after you've hooked 6. We are with the first ship stitch. Next, hook ACH. Next, hook a third loop. The pattern for the third loop is 1 SC and 1 ink. Circle 6 groups. There are 18 stitches in this loop. Let's start by hooking ASC. Then we hook an ink. This way 3 stitches are grouped together. Hook the last group. There are 18 stitches in this loop. We are on the first ship stitch, and then we hook ACH, and then the fourth loop. Hook a loop of SC. This loop is 18 SC. After hooking a circle of SC and the first ship stitch, next hook ACH, then hook a fifth loop. The pattern for the fifth loop is 1 SC and 1 GAC as a group. Cyclic group of 6, 12 stitches in this loop. Start with the SC. Then hook a DAC. This way 2 stitches are grouped together. After the last group, we are going to make a ship stitch with the first stitch, and then hook ACH. Then on the 6th loop we'll just hook 12 SC. That is in each stitch, all with 1 SC. Hook a loop through. (12 SC after the hook. We are with the first ship stitch, and then we hook ACH. Leave a long thread for sewing later. We are gonna have to stuff him with a little cotton too. And the same arm will hook him up with another one. And then we are going to crochet the body. First, the magic ring. Hook ACH. Then hook 6 SC. After the 6 SCs are hooked, take off the coil. Tensioning. Find the position of the first stitch ship stitch. Now the first stitch is hooked. Next, hook ACH. Start the second loop. The pattern for the second loop is 6 ink. There are 12 stitches in this loop. Ink is to hook 2 SC in each stitch. Six after hooking 6 ink, and the first ship stitch. Next, hook ACH. Next, we'll start the third loop. The pattern for the third loop is 1 SC and 1 ink for a group. Cycle 6 groups. There are 18 stitches in this loop. First, hook a SC. Then hook an ink. This way 3 stitches are grouped together. Hook the last group and the first ship stitch. Then hook ACH. Next, hook a 4th loop. The pattern for the 4th loop is 1 SC and 1 ink for a group of 1 SC. Cycle 6 groups. There are 24 stitches in this loop. I'll start by hooking ASC. Then I hook an ink. Then hook ASC. This makes a group of 4 stitches. Hook the last group and the first ship stitch. Next, hook ACH. Next, crochet a 5th loop. The pattern for the 5th loop is 3 SC and 1 ink as a group. Cycle 6 groups. There are 30 stitches in this loop. Let's start with 3 SC. Then we hook an ink. This makes a group of 5 stitches. After the last group is hooked and the first ship stitch is made. And then hook ACH. Next, crochet the 6th loop. The pattern for the 6th loop is 2 SC, 1 ink and 2 SC. Cyclic group of 6. The number of stitches in this loop is 36. Let's start with 2 SC. Then hook an ink. Then hook 2 more SC. This makes a group of 6 stitches. Hook the last group. And then with the first ship stitch. Next, hook ACH. And then we'll start the 7th loop. The pattern for the 7th loop is 5 SC and 1 ink as a group. Cycle through 6 groups. There are 42 stitches in this loop. Let's start with 5 SC. Then we hook an ink. This makes a group of 7 stitches. Hook the last group. Hook the last group and the first ship stitch. And then hook ACH. Next, crochet the 8th loop. The pattern for the 8th loop is 3 SC in a group of 3 ink. Cyclic group of 6. There are 48 stitches in this loop. Start by hooking 3 SC. Then hook an ink. Then hook 3 more SC. This makes a group of 8 stitches. Hook the last and first stitch in place of the ship stitch. Next, hook ACH. Next, start crocheting the 9th through 13th loops. The 9th through 13th rounds are crocheted with 48 SC without adding or subtracting. That is, in each stitch, there is only 1 SC in each stitch. After each loop, both need to ship stitch, then hook ACH. Hook the next CH. The 5 laps. It's all the same. Finish it for him. "13 loops later, we are with the first ship stitch, and then we hook ACH. Next, crochet a 14 CH. The pattern for the 14th loop is 3 SC and 1 deck in groups of 3 SC, 6 sets of hooks in all. There are 42 stitches in this loop. Let's start with 3 SC. Then we hook a deck. Then hook 3 more SC. This way 7 stitches are grouped together. Hook the last group and the first ship stitch. Next, we are going to return it. Back it up to the last stitch. This SC. Incomplete. The SC looks like this. And then switch to the black line. And then we move on to the first stitch here. Take this thread, press both threads into the crochet hook, ship stitch over, hook another edge. And then we'll continue down the line with the black thread. 5 SC and 1 deck as a group, cyclic group of 6. The number of stitches to complete the loop is 36. Still holding the thread, hook 5 SC first. And then we'll cut this white cotton thread. Then hook a deck. This way 6 stitches are grouped together. Let's hook the last group here. And the first ship stitch. And then hook ACH. Next, crochet the 16th loop. We crochet a round of SC without adding or subtracting. That's 36 stitches. When you're done with the first ship stitch, then hook ACH. Next, we'll hook a 17th loop. The rule is 2 SC, 1 deck, 2 SC, cyclic group of 6. The number of stitches to complete the loop is 30. In this round, we are going to hook the inner half of the stitches. That's the half stitch on the inside. Hook 2 SC first. Then hook a deck. This way we have a deck in the inner half of the stitch. Crochet through and hook the thread over. And then through. The next half of the stitch, hook the thread over. There are now 3 loops on the crochet hook. Directly around the thread and bring it through. This is a deck. This way we hook 2 more SC next. That's 5 stitches in a group. After the last group, we are going to stitch with the first ship stitch. And then hook ACH. Next, crochet the 18th. The pattern for the 18 loop is 3 SC and 1 December. Cyclic group of 6. There are 30 stitches in this loop. Let's start with 3 SC. Then this time deck. We can just pick the outer half stitch. Hook a deck so that 4 stitches are grouped together after the hook and the first ship stitch. Then hook a CH and leave a long stitch. And then stitch it. And then we have this time. We can fill him with a little bit of cotton. After you've filled it with cotton, that's it. Then we'll hook the ears. For the ears, we'll go straight to magic ring and hook 6 SC. And then ship stitch. First hook ACH. Then hook 6 SC. After hooking 6SC, take off the coil and tighten it. And then we give him. Release the line, we'll just sew it up later. Hook him up with another one of these. Next we'll do the stitching. First, let's sew the head and the body. And we're going to put this black thread through the suture needle. From this position in our ship stitch, CH, start hooking. And that's how you connect them, stitch by stitch. Sew him through like this. After sewing a circle like this, let's hide the thread. Next, let's sew the hand. Let's set a position. Give him both hands and feet. Position yourself. And then the feet are down here. And then we sew him up. The stitching method is all the same. Stitch him around the circle. and so the substitutions go around, and then after you're done sewing, let's hide the thread. And then the other two sides, same thing for the hands and feet, sew it on. And then do the same on the other side. And then we'll sew up the ear. Finding a symmetrical position. And then with a sewing needle. Then hide the threads a bit. And do the same for the other side. After the ears are done, let's paste the eyes. First we find a centered position. Put the nose. and then the center of the nose. The eyes are about here. Paste it on. Then sew the nose with black thread. Sew him longer. That'll do it. Well, our little panda is done.